I just want to start by giving a disclaimer. Things are going to get weird. And that's weird by my standards, so really weird. You've been warned.
There was once a robot named Kilodrome. He needed food and shelter. The hungry Kilodrome was devouring everything in sight until he came upon one special creature, Cheesecake Factory. Kilodrome had committed a taboo to truly Bedrock. He ran, he hid, he snuck up behind Blue Jay and threw the body at him. Blue Jay caught the body out of pure surprise. Kilodrome had trapped Blue Jay, and he now had no other choice but to help him dispose of the body. Even planting the body on someone else will only buy them time. They need to destroy the body. But the only way to do that is with demonic alchemy. They must summon the Wither.
I know you're scared because, pufferfish brain.
So off they go, collecting Oreos. That makes sense. Oh! There's an Oreo!
They're attacking back! They're attacking back! We did not have the element of surprise.
Wait, I thought you executed Cheesecake Factory.
No,
Why am I being brought
You're-
into this? No, you get the Oreo. I don't want the Oreo.
The more Oreos, the better.
They were ready to give up until they happened upon the Oreo factory.
This is where they make all the Oreos, dude.
They just make them here? They have a bunny that's an Oreo too. Look at him.
They finally had all that they needed.
Oreos. No
Right.
evidence, no crime. That's definitely an Oreo. Die, Oreo monster.
Where'd he go?
The battle raged. They got pummeled. Kilodrome would have to sacrifice himself. The Wither and Kilodrome died in furious battle together. Blue Jay put Kilodrome back together the best he could. But whatever happened to Cheesecake Factory's body, you might ask? Well, legend says it's still on the server. It was not destroyed in the fight because Killa and Blue Jay were not victorious, but rather were evenly matched with the Wither. We do not know where Cheesecake Factory is, but we do know he haunts whoever's house he is in.
I told you it was going to get weird. Anyway, hello and welcome to another episode of the Truly Bedrock Rewind. This week we'll be taking a look at what happened on the Truly Bedrock SMP realm between the 30th of September and the 6th of October 2019. As usual, we'll start with the high five highlighting 5 of the 15 members' videos, followed by a summary of what the rest of the members got up to, as well as the community clips picked by you. Don't forget, we need you to help keep picking your favorite clips each week. If you want to get involved, please do head over to our Discord and check out the Rewind Highlights channel. Instructions for how to post can be found in the pinned post, and if you're not already a member of the Discord, the invite link can be found in the description below. Anyway, enough of that, let me give you a big high five and let's get right into it. Tiz starts us off this week with 2 episodes, beginning with him having completely demolished his sorting system, farms, and pretty much most of the lower part of his base.
I just didn't see the base going anywhere the way it was. I feel like I could do better.
During the explainer, he shows us his response to Zap's recent prank in which he brought over a team of gold armor stands with jeeps set on attacking Tiz's base. Tiz's minions, however, Team No Pants, retaliates by throwing the jeeps off the cliff and surrounding the Team Gold. He shows us the demolished mess of 2 of the trucks that were thrown over the edge, as well as one he stole to put to use later as part of a renewed trucking business plan. After a bit of sidetracking, Tiz teases his new plan for his base, detailing his desire to build several large kelp farms, one on each wall for XP and smelting. He begins construction, leaving shortly to do a deal with Loy, swapping emeralds for iron, only to continue and almost suffocate inside the system due to forgetting to place in the kelp.
But there is our first one. Ready to go.
Tiz discovers another prank, or actually more of a warning, in the form of an armor stand with a book telling him to watch his back. Assuming it was Prowl, Tiz remains unfazed by the threat, confident that the ever-growing horde of members trying to win the Kill Tiz medals will be all killed just as easily as TNC was last week.
This is all on my terms. You guys seem to think that you have all the power here. You don't.
After taking some time to add to the comment library, Tiz rounds up the episode showing that he'd given Prowl his doggo back during a recent live stream.
So I stream every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. If you didn't know, over on Twitch. Link is in the description if you want to check it out. But that is what happened to Buster.
His next episode starts with him gathering glowstone to fill the remaining unlit areas of the bedrock at the foot of his base. As part of his base redesign, he removes his old nether portals to replace them with thin rectangles wrapping round the sides of his base, serving both as the world's worst gold farm and also as a way in and out. Tiz then shows us some more deals done with Slack swapping gunpowder and glowstone dust for glass to help with Slack's base improvements, and then finishes his episode adding some lighting to his pigment catchers and restocking his pane in the glass shop over at the shopping area. Next up is Rogue, who starts off episode 29 detailing some of the redstone improvements to his RFC shop that were suggested to him by yours truly in the comments of his previous video. Now able to dispense the chicken twice as fast, he might end up being able to serve his fast food to the customers before they actually starve to death. Moving on, he checks out the mob-infested town hall before heading over to the community jobs tavern to check out the jobs board. He takes a good look and picks a couple to take on, including gathering netherrack for Zap and ender pearls for Liara. He also flicks through the Kill Tiz book, not quite getting a grip on the rules and planning a sneak attack at some point in the future. Rogue then takes the opportunity to detail his original plans for works in the nether that never came to fruition whilst gathering the unneeded netherrack for Sap's job. With 3 1/3 shulkers full, he nips back to base to fill the 4th, calculating that Zap will owe him a cool 21.6 diamonds. However, he remembers that Zap actually gifted him a stack of iron blocks not so long ago, so decides to gift the 4 shulkers to Zap for free, as a thank you, instead of taking the diamonds.
So we'll go ahead, we'll leave that as a gift. I'll let him know that we deposited 4 shulker boxes worth of netherrack, and hopefully that helps him out.
Hopping into the end, he's a little surprised by the lack of Enderman to attack for Liara's enderpearl job and explains that the process of chasing them down isn't exactly thrilling video material.
At the moment, there is nothing really exciting going on. There are a lot of safe places to stand, so I'm not really taking any damage or anything like that. If anything, this job is just a little tedious.
Finishing the job and taking the pebbles as reward, Rogue heads over to the gaming area.
Yes, we do have a gaming area.
To detail his plans to build a hay maze, he gathers a bunch of wheat using his micro wheat farm, but realizes it's nowhere near enough and heads back to the job tavern to place a job offering 4 pebbles per shulker of wheat. By the sounds of things, he's got his diamonds to pebble conversion backwards though, as it works out at just 2 diamonds per shulker box, which is way under the going rate, even without the shulkers.
We are gonna need so much hay.
We go from grain to green as we head over to Slack Lizard's 2 videos this week, which showed him making some serious improvements both inside and outside of his giant witch hut base. Episode 40 sees Slack start by explaining that he has almost no paper, and because his 0-tick sugarcane farm requires more than just falling out of bed to get there, he decides he needs a paper solution a little closer to home. So he throws together a couple of nano farms, one for sugarcane and one for bamboo, and builds them into an area inside the witch hut mirroring his sea pickle farm. With an inside custom tree to add some life to the otherwise grey and stony interior, Slack moves on to showcasing some of the outside area he's been working on during his live streams.
And speaking of streaming is now a thing that I now have started. So if you would like to, jump on over to Twitch. There'll be a link to my channel down in the description.
He mentions that during streaming he'd been to the desert to stock up on sand for his fog effect rivers, and that his current smelting system isn't really up to the job of converting it all into glass. So again, because the super smelter over at the mob farm isn't right on his front porch, he built a 64 furnace array just over in the corner of his base. Using a hopper-heavy old-school design, Slack's array works first time and starts spitting out glass at a rate of 1 sugar box worth every 6 minutes.
I have the iron. If I have to use all my iron, I don't care. I can go get more iron. I can go mining.
Moving on to episode 41, Slack goes from inside to outside, concentrating on finally working on the exterior panels of his witch hut. Before he gets there, however, he heads to the nether to work on the area around his portal, taking care in his design to make it link up correctly with the existing tunnels. He combines his love for quartz with the greens used around his base to start on a very nice design, but then admits that he doesn't really have the inspiration to continue with it that day.
I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it today.
Instead, he explains that he is finally inspired to start working on the exterior of his witch hut and goes on to build a couple more legs, some more walls, and getting it all taking shape. Showing it off with a rather fancy shader pack, Slack admits that his hard work is paying off.
Yeah, this thing, it's turning out really good. I am really happy with this thing.
Having had a little time off the realm, Prowl comes back determined to put a stop to the ongoing onslaught of pranks aimed at his base. He starts episode 35 with the other side of the argument we have with Liara last week over the missing slices from his cake review. Go check that out if you missed that one. Whilst arguing about the cake, Liara points out to him that his shulker box shop doesn't seem particularly safe, which he takes as an opportunity to remind her that he is the safety inspector, and as far as he's concerned, it's all above board.
This shop definitely meets all safety standards that are put forward, and the only person that can say otherwise is me, and I'm not saying otherwise, so.
Back at his base, he finds his Marquisita armor stand offering him an enchanted book, which for some reason triggers him so badly that he pays his thanks with a block of TNT to the head. Okay. Anyway, heading outside to cool off, he's hit with another 2 pranks on top of the already existing revenge prank that Evil Killer left a few weeks ago. He finds the doggo that he originally gave Tiz left wrapped up on top of his base, as well as a large #BlameProwl sign right up high in the sky with a map attached showing the text highlighted over Prowl's base.
All right, this has gone on too far.
To make things worse, while flying down from the sign, Prowl hits the ground a little too hard, popping him like a piñata right on top of his base, making it very difficult for him to get back up to get his items. This triggers Prowl to the point of snapping, resulting in a quick wardrobe change and a declaration of war to all those that have opposed him.
This means war. Warlord Prowl is here, and I mean business.
In a slightly confusing move, perhaps done cleverly as a way to throw off his opponents, Prowl decides the best form of offense is a good defense and moves forward with his plans to build a wall around his base to keep out the riffraff.
We're gonna have to start teaching people a lesson.
Yeah, that'll show him, Prowl. You go with your wall. Deciding he's going to need diamonds to help pay for the labor to help build the wall, he heads to the shopping area to check his profits. Arriving late to the aftermath of Silent and Zloy's buyout, he finds plenty of diamond blocks in his shop, as well as a bunch more over at the wood shop that he shares with his business partner, whose name he can't quite remember.
What's his name? Zap.
And last but not least, we return to the weird and wonderful with Blue Jay, whose episode was just a dream all along. Falling asleep in his new redstone shop, Blue Jay's nightmare follows Killer Drone and himself dealing with the aftermath of the murder of Cheesecake Factory.
I know you don't understand the scope of what just happened, but we have to hide here for a while.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on either, but I'm going to roll with it. The strange just gets stranger as their plan to hide out in the nether where no one will find them turns into them hunting for Oreos.
Oh! There's an Oreo!
In the hopes to build an Oreo monster whose explosion will dispose of Cheesecake Factory's remains, meaning no one will ever be able to trace the murder back to Killer or Blue Jay, who it turns out had absolutely nothing to do with it anyway, but seemed eager to be roped into the adventure and tag along for the ride.
Let's go find some Oreos and make an Oreo monster, okay?
Have they not heard of lava or cactus? Blue Jay finds his first Oreo relatively quickly and gives it to Killer, suggesting the way you taste it is to put it on your head, and by leaving it on your head it will help you find more Oreos, because that makes complete sense.
It tastes a lot like, yeah, skull.
And as daft as that plan does sound, it actually seemed to work, as Killer was then able to gather more and more Oreos whilst Blue Jay wasn't finding any.
Another Oreo.
My luck is insane.
After a spate of finding Oreos, Killer's luck does finally run out, however, as he's killed by an Oreo shortly before Blue Jay seems to be one-shotted by a blaze. But as it turns out, it wasn't the blaze at all, it was actually his bodyguard Killer who stabbed him in the back.
When I hired you, you told me you've been a bodyguard for like 10 years. Did you lie to me? Do you even know what you're doing?
Of course I killed Cheesecake Factory, didn't I?
You just couldn't write this stuff, could you? Having found 5 Oreos and needing a 6th so they can make 2 Oreo monsters, even though they said they only needed 1 to get rid of the evidence, they give up the chase in order to steal one from the Oreo factory that just happens to look identical to Silence Witherskull Farm. Eventually, they build the Oreo monster underneath where Cheesecake Factory's remains were kept and take it in turns to see who can die the quickest. Actually, that's not what they were doing, but they might as well have been, considering at the point where both of them died, the Wither bugged out and became invincible, meaning that their continued efforts to gear up and take it on were completely in vain.
So, theoretically, I should not be able to die.
Finally, after many dyings, Blue Jay's dream ends with them realizing the Wither is broken and giving up waking up back at the Redstone shop.
What an anticlimactic video!
Well, that's it for the high five this week. If you're interested in finding out more about any of the Truly Bedrock members and creators, make sure to check out all of their channels. Details and links are in the description below, as well as on the trulybedrock.com website. Now it's time for a quick summary of what the rest of our members got up to last week before we head over to the community clip section. Killer Drone posted 2 videos showing Evil Killer taking over and pranking Silent Whisperer in episode 7 and his version of the Cheesecake Factory and Invincible Wither story in episode 8. Liara's episode 29 showed her and Jessie B's prank against Silent, whilst her shopping showdown episode 30 gives us her first attempt at taking on the Kill Tiz challenge. Jessie B then shows an alternative view of the Wither prank on Silent in episode 12, with Silent responding to all of his pranks in episode 37. He then builds a quad raid farm in episode 38. I work on my base, do some command block admin, and make some serious upgrades to the Guardian farm storage system in episodes 52, 53, and 54, and then Zloy farms quartz from the comfort of his own home in episode 48. TNC spends a lot of diamonds and makes base improvements in episode 20, and Zap continues working on his minigame in episode 26. Don't forget, if you want to see more from any of the Truly Bedrock members, be sure to subscribe to their channels and watch out for more Truly Bedrock content. Links to all of the members' channels can be found in the description, as well as on the trulybedrock.com website. We now move on to the highlights of the week as chosen by you, our community, via our Discord channel, and our first clip was posted by the usual Marcus Eater, and it shows Liara taking care of some pests in episode 30.
Much better.
Silent also takes care of some pests in his episode 38, also shared by Mark.
I just want to point out that sometimes Bedrock Edition is nice to you and just gives you a whole bunch of bunnies to get bunny feet from. I'm sorry, I've traumatized literally everybody watching the video, but you know what? Bunny feet are a nice thing to have. We only got one. Oh, well, you know what? Never mind.
And would you believe it, the final clip is also from Mark, who shared Jessie B's episode 12, where she just keeps falling down.
I have no idea how we're going to get back out of here, and I just actually looked at that and I went, alright.
Oh! So, you know.
I mean, no more that was already out there.
I think this is What? Why? Why do I keep falling today? What is going on with my life?
And that's it from our community clips this week. Don't forget, we need you to post your favorite clips from any of the members' videos in the Rewind Highlights channel on the Truly Bedrock Discord. If you're not a member already and you want to get involved, the Discord link is in the description below. Before I go, I just want to make a note that we are having another Truly Bedrock stream day on the 26th of October, which might actually become a stream weekend, depending on how many people are planning on streaming. Here are some clips from the last stream day. If you haven't checked them out already, it was absolutely amazing. So that is what is now linked to our furnace array, which does go faster, which means it can smelt faster, which means the furnace is... Oh, I'm allowed now.
I won't lie, I just about had a heart attack there for just a second. I
literally just did, man.
All I could think of was we're live streaming and I can't yell at you.
Why? Why did I bounce? Why? See what I said about things not being simple? I'm gonna die. No. Oh no! Well...
Well, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this week's Rewind. If you did, please do leave a like and don't forget to subscribe for more Truly Bedrock Rewinds. I've been FoxyNoTail, you've been watching the Rewind, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!